BitFarms Millionaire. Let's talk about how much BitFarms you would need to purchase if you were to become a BitFarms Millionaire here in the coming bull run. Before we get going here, if you've been with us a while, if you've watched a couple of videos of Trade Cave and you're enjoying what you're watching so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That does wonders for the channel. If you've watched the When Moon episode from Trade Crave for BitFarms, you have an idea already of where I think that this thing could potentially go. Of course, this is not financial advice, not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. This is a very speculative episode of Trade Cave. This is more for entertainment than anything else. Take everything said here with a grain of salt. This is a bit of a fun exercise just to see what would it take in the best case scenario to become a millionaire off of this stock. So let's get right into that. Let's take a look at some data first as we start to think about what are the possibilities here. First of all, we see that BitFarms on a wick here. Now this was a wick. Its highest point was $10.04 US. Now if we go here, I'm going to look at the Compass Mining. This is an article from December 2022, December 5th, 2022, ranking the top 5 Bitcoin miners back then. And BitFarms is on this list, and we can see here that at that time, BitFarms had just increased its exahash from 3.6 to 4.2. We know right now that they're operating with 7 exahash. So we are actually doubled up from that, or almost doubled up from that. So we should expect with current rate of mining that we would reach back to that $10 level on BitFarms. Everything held constant. It gets the same amount of interest. It's mining the same amount of Bitcoin that it was back then. If it maintains the same level of efficiency, we should see it hit that $10 level. But things don't stop there. They're planning to reach 20 exahash. So they want to get this up to 20. Currently, we're at 7, which would be the baseline to reach that $10 again. But they want to get to 20, and I'm pretty sure that they will get up to that 20 level. They've been doing pretty good so far. So we got 20. We're going to divide that by 7. We're going to increase it 2.85 times more than we currently are at right now. So the absolute best case scenario, they execute on all their plans, they get their 20 exahash, and right before going into the bull run, and we see the absolute peak of what this thing could reach. So 2.85 times by 10, obviously that's going to be $28.57, right? Okay, so let's just do it. Let's just do it for the sake of showing it. It was like $10.04 or something. $28.68 is like the best case scenario in this situation. Now, we do know that there's going to be some dilution of the shares still coming up. We do know that's coming up. We do know that will impact the overall outcome of this. So this will probably be, a little bit lower than what we're expecting right now because of that dilution. So let's say there's probably maybe a 20% dilution coming, because we know that there's what, $300 million or $375 million of ATM that they've got that they could use and dilute us with. So we're going to go ahead and just take off 20% just for the sake of argument, right? Okay, 80%, $22.94. So like the best case scenario is going to be sitting around $22.94. So let's just call that $23 just for the sake of argument. Let's call it $23. That's the best case scenario right now that we would be looking at for BitFarms. So how many shares do we need to become BitFarms millionaires? Let's have a look. This is a very easy calculation. Anyone can do this one. $1 million divided by $23. 43,478. Let's call that 479. 43,479 shares to become a BitFarms millionaire. Of course, that is before taxes. You'll be paying quite the hefty tax bill if you were to reach that amount in investments and executed a taxable event at that rate. So you wouldn't be after taxes, but before taxes, you would be a BitFarms millionaire with 43,479 BitFarms shares at $23 if it reaches $23 in this bull run. And remember, that is the absolute best case scenario that we're looking at, is a $23 BitFarms going into this bull run. So what's the current price of BitFarms? Current price of BitFarms is $1.96. Now, we have wicked down to $1.66 in the last 2 weeks. We could see that happen again. I don't know if we will, but we could. I wouldn't be super surprised if we came back down to $1.80 on BitFarms before moving up again. I would not be surprised by that. So let's say $1.96. So you need 43,479 shares at $1.96. Let's see how much money do we need. 43,479, and we're going to times by 1.96. You're going to need $85,219 invested in Bitfarms in order to have a chance at getting that that Bitfarms millionaire status. I don't have that much invested in Bitfarms. I'm not even close. I think I have maybe 2,500 shares of Bitfarms right now. That with an average cost basis around $1.52, something like that. So I'm way behind on this. So I'm unfortunately not going to become a Bitfarms millionaire. Is anyone in the comments sound off if you have this much Bitfarms? Let us know. They say, hey, I'm a future Bitfarms millionaire here, potentially, and that's how much you would need. You would need about that much in the best case scenario, and execute it flawlessly with your exit on it in order to make that happen. Now that'd be very unlikely to occur. That'd be very difficult to do. Because I promise you, when Bitfarms hits about $12, I'll definitely be selling some of it, maybe not all of it, but I will be taking some profits around that range. High teens, I'd be taking more profit. I'd probably take 30% off the table once it gets to the high teens. And if it hits $20, I'm dumping it all. Like I might even do it like 1977 or something, because that would be an insane gain for me personally. And that is my personal plan. Your plan could differ from me in that respect. You might be holding out for that high dollar value, but I've been investing for a while, and I do understand that it gets more, the longer you hold, the more difficult it becomes to sell, especially as you see those numbers rising. So I tend to sell into strength on that. Like I sell into rallies in order to, so I don't get that big FOMO feeling like it could go higher, it could go higher. Anytime I have a thought in my brain that says it could go higher, I sell a little bit, because that is how you end up losing money. And of course, this is not financial advice, not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. But that's Bitfarms. To become a Bitfarms millionaire, you would very likely need to have 43,479 shares of Bitfarms, and the price would need to reach $23 in this bull run, meaning if you were to buy it at its current value, you would need to spend $85,219 on Bitfarms shares in order to reach goal. Now, when are we expecting that sort of thing to happen? So we'd be looking around, not this year. Honestly, I don't think it would be this year unless we get a significantly left translated cycle, which some people are saying could happen. But the general cycle usually is 18 months after the halving, which would be Q4 2025. That the best chance of seeing a $23 Bitfarms is likely to be in that Q4 2025 range. Like, when did this happen last time? Okay, so this one actually happened in December 2020. I can't remember what happened in December 2020 other than CleanSpark started mining Bitcoin. Not sure why they had that big run up, which would have been Q4. Actually, this would have been Q4 after the halving, that first year. So this big wick here where it actually hit this all-time high actually did happen in the halving year, which would be this year. So I would be looking out. I'd be watching very closely Q4 2024 for a potential, like, let's see, how many days was it up there? Let's go to the daily. How many days was it up there? Not even one. Not even one day. Wow, look at that wick. Just an absolute, that is an insane blow off top. That was December 28th, 2020. Let's have it, let's drill down. Let's go even lower. Let's see, where was it? 2023 on the hours. Let's see if we can even get there. 2021. Nope, we can't get there on the 2-hour chart. Let's see, well, 4-hour chart. Let us get there. Can we see it on a 4-hour chart? We cannot. So the daily chart is the lowest I can go on here and actually see that. So it didn't even last a day. This could have been 5 minutes. It could have been an hour. Could have been 30 minutes. We don't know. And I don't know because I can't see that far back on TradingView. It won't let me. So December 28th, 2020, which would correlate to Q4 of this year, it hit a all-time high. And the next time it hit a nice big high was in November 2021, which was the bull run, the legit bull run cycle. And that hit $9.37 at that time. So I'd be watching Q4 of this year to see if there's a fluke like last time during the halving where it just did this 1-day massive run up, and it kind of did it twice. It went up to $9 later on, which in this situation we would probably correlate that closer to like $14 for the first one and like $12 for the second one. And then we built up through 2021, Q4 2021, we saw that that second peak, just like we saw with Bitcoin last cycle. So that's really the time frame we would be looking at this, right? We'd be looking for it around Q4 2024. Watch carefully to see if there's like some crazy day where it does something like that. And then again, the next time I'd be looking for this potential price action would be Q4 2025. But that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.